Hello everyone, welcome to another video by a friendly tree. I'm here today to do something a little bit different. It's been requested by a couple of people and I've just been struggling to get the content all set up and ready to go, but I think we're okay to do it, but we'll see. Okay, so what I have today is I have my own setup. Bear with me because there's a bit of a delay in the screen that I'm following. But here you can see my typical setup. Using an Elgato HD for the game capture to allow me to record me on my arcade stick. So what I have here, I have a modified Razer Panthera arcade stick. You can see that the art itself is different, the stick itself is a bit different, and the buttons are also quite different too. The main things I need to point out, you can see there, I have an octagonal gate. The button itself, the stick itself and the buttons are both silenced as well, and that's because my gaming room, my setup is right beside me and my girlfriend's bedroom, so I can't play late at night unless I have it silenced, which I'm sure you can respect. Anyway, as well as the 8-way gate, the stick also has a 2-pound spring on it, so it is a little bit harder to move than your typical stick. Okay, anyway, let's get ready, let's get set up to how we're going to do this video. So I hope this is suitable. I'll try and get this angle a bit better. It's difficult, I think I just made it worse. This is very difficult to get set up with the delay in the picture for me. Okay, so I'm going to go into practice mode. We're going to pick Nina and Nina, of course, as I always do. We're going to go to the Infinite Azure, stage without walls, because that's probably best to be demonstrating movement. Plus it's a nice bright stage, nice and easy to see. So the way I hold my stick, I've been playing on stick for a long time now, so back when Tekken 5, I think it was 5.0 or 5.1 was at the arcades. Back when I first started, I used to hold it with a bit of a fist grip, and I have to admit I was probably quite limited by doing that. Later on I've followed a video by Gotex that suggested that you have your ring and your little finger underneath the stick, and your ring and your little finger, and then your index and your middle finger on top of the stick. So what I do is I often have it sort of curved around, so I have my proximal phalanx on both my index finger and my middle finger touching the stick, and I can use that to guide for a forward movement. Oh, hold on. Let's change the display. So we've got the command on, we'll turn the health bar off because that's being covered by this video anyway. And we'll set the dummy to standing guard, wake up backwards. Okay, so holding the stick like this, I use my proximal phalanx on my index finger and kind of my middle finger sometimes if I want to walk forward, and double tap that to dash, of course. To go to the left, so in this situation to go backward, I would be looking at using my thumb. So I'm using the distal phalanx on my thumb to do this, and a dash. To do a quarter circle forward movement, what I would do is I would push down with my fingers, so I'm using the middle phalanx and the distal phalanx a little bit of my, pretty much of my index finger. I use my middle finger a little bit too, and then I use the proximal phalanx to roll forward. Now to do it the other direction, I use my thumb as well. So I'm pushing down in the same manner, but instead of using my proximal phalanx on my index finger, I'm using my thumb to do that directional movement to the left. Okay, this goes into the next thing. Because Nina is a backsway character, she can't do the easy Korean backdash. She has to do the different method where you don't have a quarter circle back. So you can't go back quarter circle back because she'll do a backsway. Instead you go back down back down back. So what I'm doing here, to do it on the left side, I'm pushing with my thumb, then I'm pushing down with my index and my middle finger, then I'm releasing my index and my middle finger, then I'm releasing my thumb. To do this on the other side, you've got to push, so you're pushing with the proximal phalanx on your index finger. This is how I do it, by the way, guys. I know there are different ways, but this is the way that I do it. So I don't even use my thumb at all on this side. It can be a little bit difficult to get used to, but you push with the proximal phalanx to go back or to the right, and then you push down, you're using your middle and your distal phalanx. And the way the stick works, you're pretty much releasing both the direction, well, both the down and the right at the same time toward neutral. So I'm returning to neutral when I do this. Takes a bit of practice though. Okay, the next thing I want to go over is Nina's sidestep 1. So people have asked me about the perfect sidestep 1 cancel. I don't know how perfect my cancels are, but they come with practice, just getting used to the timing. Typically you want to start with a sidestep down when you're in neutral, just because then if you sidestep cancel, you realign opposed to running away from them and getting way off axis. That's my opinion. So once you've done the sidestep 1, I hit back and then I go neutral, okay? From the neutral, I can then do any input I want. You can hold it. Holding it works just as well. It's just what you prefer. But I mean, to do a sidestep 1 back into an up forward move, you're obviously going to have to go to neutral first. If you want to, a lot of moves you do, you can just sidestep and then do like a back 2-2 for example, or a forward 3. But something like a back 1+4, you notice that won't work because she has a quarter circle back 1+4. So what you actually need to do is you need to sidestep cancel. So it's just back and then up. You can only cancel it up, remember. And as you can see me showing off with the sidestep 1 and the sidestep 1 cancels, you're just doing a sidestep 1, back, up, sidestep back, up. If we look at the other side, it's the same thing. You sidestep down, and then, because you have to sidestep cancel up. And yeah, returning to neutral. And I mean, there's not too much use by doing a sidestep 1 into a sidestep 1, is a lot of the time it's going to whiff unless you're at the wall. Unless you want to do a fancy combo like the sidestep 1 into sidestep 1. Whoops. Alright, I'm sorry about that everyone. Had a couple of technical issues to do with the headset. Anyway, that'll be it for the sidestep 1 stuff. So let's go on to the next thing. Next thing I'd like to talk about is crouch cancelling. So what I'll do is I'm just going to set the dummy to do Nina's wipe the floor. One of the main situations you'll encounter for crouch cancelling will be when you block a really unsafe sweep. You'll notice the opponent staggers, for example, there. And because you're blocking low, you recover crouching. So for Nina, she can easily do her up forward 2-1 to punish, which is good. But optimally, you want to be doing down back 3+4. If I just do down back 3+4 here, it comes out as a down 3. But if I tap up, if I cancel the sidestep, so if I cancel the crouch by trying to sidestep, and I'm just pressing up to do this. Nice and easy. Okay, another situation where crouch cancelling comes in handy with Nina is to do with her up forward 1. So her up forward 1 is a safe launcher. I mean, it's an orbital heel, except like an orbital palm. And I mean, there's a ton of things she can do. Because she recovers crouching, you could do it while standing 1, but it can be a bit difficult with the range sometimes. Anyway, a good way to do a juggle from this is to actually crouch cancel and do a down forward 3-2. So if I do this and try and do a down forward 3-2, it's just going to come out as a down 3-2 because I'm crouching, unless I tap up. Easy as that. So once you get used to the timing, it's not too bad to do it all. And it's the same thing on the other side. So I'm just tapping up with my thumb really. Yeah, so that can be pretty useful for Nina's moveset to be crouch cancelling effectively. Okay, and what's the last thing we want to look at? We want to look at while standing 1s. So instant while standing 1 is probably the most complex thing that Nina has when it comes to inputs. So we talked about how to do a quarter circle forward before. Do a quarter circle forward neutral 1 and that'll come out as a while standing 1. However, if you hold it a little too long, it'll come out as a quarter circle forward 1. So if the forward and the 1 are both registering at the same time, you'll get a different move. And this is where people use the up forward technique. So as long as the whole quarter circle forward move is registered, you can use an up forward to make sure that a quarter circle forward doesn't come out. If part of the quarter circle doesn't come out, you'll get an up forward 1. And what I'm doing here, I do my normal quarter circle forward motion, and I'm pretty much pushing up with the metacarpal phalangeal joints on my index finger and my middle finger when I'm on the left side. So, if we get the input correct. A few errors in there. Okay, and you can put that into a juggle. You can stuff up the juggle if you're me, but you can stuff it up twice. Uh-oh. You can see it's because I'm pressing the 1 too early. It's almost too slow. There we go. And on the other side, it's the same. So quarter circle forward to neutral. If you press it at the same time, you get a quarter circle forward 1 instead of a while standing, using the up forward trick. So I'm holding it up with my thumb here. I'm using the proximal phalanx of my thumb. That's the bit that's got pressure on the stick as I'm doing the up forward. A couple of errors here. Now watch as I screw up the juggle again. Oh no, not this time. Well, there you have it. So those are all the inputs and movements for Nina I wanted to go through today. I'm away for the next couple of weeks, so I won't be uploading any more videos, but let me know if you're interested. The next thing I could do is I could do a video on pad. So just showing the different ways that you could use the pad and how to play Nina with a pad. Anyway, like and subscribe guys. Please let me know what else you're interested in, and I'll keep making content.